Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of the Hockey Mountain High podcast. I'm Griffin Youngs, joined by Christian Bolle. As always, I can remember a time, probably a month ago at this point, where we had a genuine complaint that the episodes we were doing just felt so similar every single time. We just felt like we were having the same conversation, but it was for a good reason, because the Avalanche, they just kept winning their games. And even when they didn't play great, they had these comebacks, or they had their goalie go out and steal it for them. At home, they were unbeatable. We're sitting here now at the end of January, and the homestand comes to an end. The Avs finished with more losses than wins, which sounds crazy if you were to say it 3 weeks ago that they would end a 7-game homestand, coming into it with an 18-game point streak at that point, having not lost since October, coming out of it 3-2-2, which is not the worst homestand ever. You get points in 5 of 7. You can spin it that way. But the standard of play in these 7 games, for the most part, has not been great. And the game against the Ducks, they lose 2-1. First time this year you can really say, yep, they just got goalied. Like, the perfect game from Lucas Dostal. The Flyers game is the worst game they have played this year.
It was an abomination.
Abomination is a great word for that game. It was a travesty. Like, it was a horrible hockey game from top to bottom, and yet they were still in it. 3-3 at the end of the second period, having not played well at all. Blackwood did not play well in this game. That third period, for my money, is the worst period they've had this year.
Without a doubt, the worst period they've had all year. And it was just kind of jarring. I think they were kind of shocked and confused as to how it happened, because in the blink of an eye in that third period, you're down 2 goals. It's like 2 minutes and you're down 2 goals. And credit has to go to the Flyers. They came out and punched the Avs in the mouth in that third period, and the Avs didn't really know how to respond. And they've been such a dominant third period team. But my, oh my, that third period was one of the worst periods they've played in a very, very long time.
Yeah, and I think that is the correct way to feel about this game. It's jarring to see them play like that, where, again, wind the clock back a month ago. We're talking about, this is one of the best third period teams I've ever seen. Mm-hmm. They are undeniable in the third period. You even saw it against Washington like a couple of days ago, where they just went out and stomped them in the third period. And this third period, they had nothing. Wasn't a back-to-back, no travel. They just did not have the jump for it for whatever reason. And you can look at so many things in this game. The power play, which is going to be once again, huge topic of conversation today, because it was horrific again. They give up another shorthanded goal after looking awful, especially in the third period. And just the defensive details and just the attention to detail in general, just not there for the most part. And this was not a great game for Mackenzie Blackwood. I'm not going to lambast him, because, again, it's his second game back from injury. He's always seemed like the kind of guy that just needs games to get in a rhythm, but he has not been good in those 2 games. And he finished with 6 goals on about 20 shots in this game, which I can't spin in any way as being good, but I think he's going to be fine in the long term. But in this game, he was bad. And there was so many things in this game that just did not work. And it's just, like you said, it's jarring to see.
It's jarring to see. And I'm just going to get out of the way. I'm assuming we have a mailbag from R in our mailbag session at the end of the episode. We can talk about the power play because that's going to be the main topic, because we're both under the same understanding that these type of games are going to happen. You're not going to have your best effort. Your goalie wasn't very good. Pretty much everyone on the Avs had a bad game. That's going to happen. The problem is the power play has been bad all year. Last night against Philly might have been one of the worst performances they've had all year on the power play, and that's saying a lot, because the power play has not been good all year.
But it's been so bad that I don't even know if I can confidently say it's their worst game. It was abysmal, but there's a part of me that's like, I don't know. I feel like there were some games in there
there's probably some worse
horrible, that were just as bad, but there's no reason as to why this shouldn't be your worst game of the season. They go 0 for 4. They give up their 8th shorthanded goal of the season. 8th shorthanded goal this year. I don't even have the words for that. Like, that is unbelievable how bad this is. And it has been all year. It is game 49. Mm-hmm. This stopped being cute in game 10. It stopped being cute in the first round last year, where you could not get a power play goal to save your life, and you fire Ray Bennett and you bring in Dave Haxtell. And not only does it not look any different, it looks worse for my money. Like the Dallas series, like it wasn't perfect in the regular season last year by any stretch. The Dallas series just felt like such an anomaly to a certain extent. They couldn't get anything to work. This is a product of this is a bad power play. Where it's been this way for 49 games. I'm not waiting for it anymore. It's, well, the talent's just going to take over, and it's just going to figure itself out. We're beyond that point now, where we have been having this conversation for so long. And now you are without Gabe Landeskog, you're without Devon Toews, and Mackenzie Blackwood, while he is currently working his way back into things, is not able to cover up your flaws. And your power play has not been good enough at all year, but they've been so good that they've been able to get away with it to a certain extent. In the month of January, they're not getting away with it. It is costing them games now, and it is killing this team. And it is so bad that as I look at this team, great that they are, and say that will once again sink you if you can't figure this out. I'm not saying you'll lose in the first round, but you're telling me 4 rounds with that power play.
No shot.
No shot. You have to fix this.
Yeah. You have to fix it. And a lot of people are going to come on here and blame Dave Haxtell. Well, he's not blameless in this. The players have to execute, man. Like, they have to execute. And we were talking about it off air. Dave Haxtell can drop all the things. You can't have Kale McCarr turn the puck over at the blue line.
I don't imagine that's how Dave Haxtell drew that play up. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say that he didn't want Kale to go, okay, just put it right on the stick of Owen Tippett for an completely undefended breakaway. Yeah, we've been on here since whenever Haxtell was hired in July, right? Yes. And been like, well, I don't know, willing to give it a shot. We were not super thrilled about the hire. But at some point, like, it has to come down to just, you have to be smarter on the power play. There comes a certain point when you have this much talent. I don't know if it matters who's coaching, because this is the second guy.
And he's not blameless, Dave Haxtell.
Not at all. We are not going to go to bat for Dave Haxtell and say that he has done no wrong. And
what has he changed? Like, what's changed from what Ray Bennett was doing last year? Like, it hasn't changed. It hasn't.
It just bothers me that, like, it feels like there's no urgency with it, both on the ice and to change it. You just kind of get after the game these non-committal, like, yeah, we don't really know answers. You're 49 games in, you don't have a fucking clue as to what this power play is going to do, as to why we cannot stop giving up shorthanded breakaway. 8 feels low. Like, 8 feels low.
It does. Wedgwood and Blackwood have bailed them out a lot on the power play.
Like, I was actually surprised we weren't in double digits at this point with the amount of breakaways they give up, or even just 2-on-1s shorthanded, where there are times that they are getting outchanced and outshot on their own power plays. And it would be one thing if it was just a high risk, high reward power play where they just put everything balls to the wall and occasionally worked and occasionally went against you. You're getting nothing.
It's high risk, zero reward.
Yeah, it's just high risk. It's jumping into a volcano. It's accomplishing nothing and getting nothing in return.
Yeah. And it's just, I don't know what the solution is. I'm not that smart when it comes to fixing a power play, but maybe let's start moving McKinnon around and not just have him at the top of the circles where he just feeds it into the bumper slot or passes it down low to Marty or Brock, and we just pass it back and forth between that side of the ice. Maybe try something different that way. Maybe. Because it's so predictable, the Avs power play, and we've watched every game. We know exactly what they're going to do on the power play. They're going to win the
game. You think other teams don't know? Right. They watch film and they're like, okay, this is exactly what they're going to do. And it leads to, even when they are able to connect on the passes, the goalie is just right there. Yeah. He's right in a position to just make a save in the middle of his chest.
It's right there. And it's the same thing. You win the faceoff. It goes up to Kale. Kale bumps it down to McKinnon. McKinnon walks towards the faceoff dot, waits for the bumper slot to open. If it doesn't open, he passes it down low, and then we repeat the whole thing. And maybe they try one cross-ice pass that gets deflected away and creates a 2-on-1.
Yeah, and like maybe once every 8 games it works and they actually score on it.
Right.
Or someone else scores on it for the other team.
It's so predictable, man. And that is where it does fall on Haxtell to come up with a little bit more creativity, because we have seen it a couple times on set face-off plays. Like, they work. It's just once they don't get a goal in the first 5 seconds of the power play, they just fall back into get the puck to McKinnon and he'll do something. Right. And here's the thing. When you're a defenseman and you watch a power play and you want to try and kill it, the best way to kill an Avs power play, attack Nathan McKinnon, even if it puts you in not a great spot, because he'll turn the puck over or it will be 2-on-1 and he'll just lose the puck battle. Like, it's so predictable, dude.
You even rewind to Washington and the goal they did score in that game on the power play. It wasn't a power play like setup. They kind of floundered for 2 minutes, and then McKinnon scored on a rush.
Yep. And that was a 4-minute power play too. The first,
it was a 4-minute power play. It wouldn't even have happened.
3 minutes of it were not great.
Yeah, so it wouldn't even have happened without the double minor to begin with, and it's just, you got to fundamentally change something about this power play. You cannot keep trotting the same thing out here time and time again, because it's like we're not even close to acceptable right now. We're not even running a D level power. This is an F.
It's an F.
It's a full on F power play that is costing you games at this point. And you were able to cover up a lot of these problems for half the season with just how dominant this team is at 5-on-5, but without some key guys in the lineup. And I guess without Gabe Landeskog, I guess a lot of people don't really know how to do their job most of the time. And without Devontae's, I mean, this defense is drowning. They are drowning without Devontae's. And without that, you need your power play to come up with some big goals just to get something rolling for you. At very least, to not have the puck end up in the back of your own net most of the time. It is the most maddening thing in the world. And it just feels like they're still like, I don't know. I don't know what to do. It's game 49. You still got some runway to figure it out, but it just feels like we've made no progress.
We've made no progress, and it's just, when you get 2 power plays in the first 4 minutes of a game, that should be able to just build momentum for the rest of the game. It was a detriment to the Avs in this game because their legs were there in the first period. They were really great in this first period. You get 2 power plays in the first 4 minutes and you do absolutely nothing with them. It kind of kills all the momentum. And all it took was the Flyers to get one lucky bounce. I mean, Malinsky blocks a shot. It goes right back to Owen Tippett, and Tippett rips one. You would have loved to save from Blackwood on this play, but in the blink of an eye, you're dominating them. I think the shots at that point were like 10-2.
Yeah, I think that was the Flyers' second shot of the game. It was like 11-1 at that point before the goal.
And they're up 1-0 in the blink of an eye. And you're just like, all right, here we go again. But even after all of that bad power play, they still find a way to fight back. Like you get a goal from Cale Makar, you get a goal from Parker Kelly. I'm blanking on who had the second.
Olsen.
Who was it? Olsen, yeah. Victor gets one. Like, you're tied at 3 going into the third period, despite how bad it's been. And you just rue those not scoring on any of those power plays because they didn't get another one until the third period. And you lose the special teams battle and you end up losing the game because you give up a power play goal to Philly and you give up a shorthanded goal. You're not going to win games when you're outscored 2-0 on special teams.
And those power plays in the third period, the 2 that they had were just absolutely abysmal. Obviously, you give up a shorthanded goal on one of them for a hat trick for Owen Tippett, and the other one is just as bad. It feels like it gets worse as the game goes on because the other teams, they just know exactly what to do. Mm-hmm. And it gets so easy to shut down at a certain point that, like, there's just nothing that they can do. It's too predictable, and there's no challenge to killing it for the most part. And I don't know, like, it's not a new issue. And maybe now that you're actually losing, there will be some urgency to change something with it. Like, it's like, you're not going to fire a coach when you're in first place. I know, like, I've not been a huge fan of this hire, but like, the Avs they've lost 15 games all year. Essentially, they've lost 6 games in regulation, even in the middle of this horrible stretch. Like, no one's getting fired. Right.
No one's getting fired, but like, again, like, this is where I'm not trying to like go to bat for Dave Hackstall. They didn't change anything. They brought in a new guy, and it's the exact same power play. Right. It is like, there's nothing changed, and I don't get how you can watch like the Oilers power play and McKinnon and McDavid are equals. Like they're two of the same. What McDavid does on the power play compared to McKinnon, it's insane. It's insane how much better. Like McDavid's moving all around the ice. He's not stationary in one spot. And McKinnon is not Alex Ovechkin. Alex Ovechkin has earned the right to park his spot in his office. He's earned that right because he's the greatest goal scorer of all time. McKinnon's a great goal scorer, but he's a better playmaker.
But like, if you want to establish yourself as a goal scoring threat, how about we shoot?
Right.
How about we have that threat of actually shooting the puck?
Yeah.
Because you watch these penalty kills and they don't feel threatened by any of these people on the ice because they know the Avs are going to kill probably at least 20 to 30 seconds every possession and just pass the puck around and just play passable defense, and someone probably won't be wide open and you'll probably end up just killing this whole thing. And they let all the penalty kill pressure come straight for them and make them nervous and fumble the puck when they, like, another team against a power play like the Avs should be on their heels for 2 straight minutes.
Yep.
And it just never feels like that's the case ever.
Nope. It's painful to watch. And I just need Nathan McKinnon to do something on the power play and just move. Don't stay stationary in that one spot. Like he just stays stationary. Like Martin Necas is the one who's moving more. And
like, you have 2 generational just movers and skaters in general with McKinnon and Cale Makar on the blue line. How is this an issue? It is the most baffling thing, I think, in the league, because it doesn't make any sense for it to be this incompetent.
I want to look at like the stats and just see like I'm going to look it up real quick as I filibuster just the power play, and I just want to see what teams are below them and just where they are in the standings. Because it can't be great.
Yeah. I mean, like, you look at like what Toronto did with Mark Savard. They did fire their power play coach, who was Mark Savard, and their power play did get better. The Leafs were also out of a playoff spot at that point, which is not the same situation that the Avs. I'm not even saying I disagree. It's not going to happen.
Yeah. And I mean, you look at it, the team in last, Calgary, 15.3%, not in the playoffs. The Kings fighting for their playoffs lives. The Islanders are a good team. Maybe it is kind of funny. Ray Bennett's the power play coach of the Islanders, and they have the 3rd worst one in the league. The Mammoth fighting for their lives, and the Flyers who scored against you. And wouldn't you know it, the Caps, who you said had one of the worst power plays in the league, are above the Avs now.
Which came like ever since that game.
Yep.
Which hilarious.
It's just one of those ones you look at. I mean, the Oilers are operating at 32.2%.
What's the difference? Like, genuinely look at how those power plays are set up. What is the personnel difference that has it between first and what are the Avs, like 25th?
27th now.
27th?
Yeah.
You're telling me there is such a stark difference between the talent on the ice for the Oilers on their power play and the Avs that's worth 26 spots on the power play.
Yeah. And, wouldn't you know it, the team you're more than likely going to face in the second round, the Dallas Stars are operating at 29.1%.
Yeah, shocker.
And even if the Wild do beat the Stars in the first round, the Stars are 8, or the Wild are 8th at 23.8%. I don't even want to know what this Avs team would be like if it had a 20% power play. I don't even want to know.
And the thing is, like, it wasn't like it was good when we were winning, and we were having the same conversation of like, if they had the 15th best power play, we could probably be talking. They're shattering records in
January. 18 points up in the division.
Right, like potentially clinching a playoff spot before March.
Yeah, it's just so bad, dude. And I don't know what the fix is. I don't. I really don't. And that's why Bednar gets paid the big bucks. They're going to have to figure out something. They have to. Yeah. They have to figure out something, because now your penalty kill hasn't been the best lately. It hasn't.
Yeah. And you're missing very important guy in Devontae's on the penalty kill.
And wouldn't you know it, the Blackhawks have the number 1 penalty kill in the league, 85.4%. Good for Chicago.
Good for them.
But you need to start doing something different on the power play. And like you look at it too, in these past 3 games, the Avs have faced the 20th ranked penalty kill, the 21st ranked penalty kill, and the 23rd ranked penalty kill, and they had 1 power play goal between the 3 of them.
It's ridiculous. Granted, they only had 1 power play against the Ducks, but like they didn't do anything. So
they didn't do anything. The Stars at 79.5. But here's the thing: when you match up against the Stars, who cares if their penalty kill's bad? You're not going to score on the power play anyway.
We played shit penalty kills. It doesn't matter when your power play fundamentally sucks and basically kills the penalty itself. It doesn't fucking matter what penalty kill you're going up against.
I'm thinking, oh, maybe that's an advantage. No, it doesn't.
No,
matter.
No, you're killing 79% of them, and the Avs kill probably the other 21% themselves.
Like it's just maddening, man. And it's not going to be like we're not all doom and gloom on the season. You're going to lose games. Like that's
we're picking on this because I don't feel as strongly about some of the other issues from this game as I've seen from like the fan base after this loss. Like it just felt a little disproportionate with everything. Like the power play, I'm nuclear about. I'm so sick of this power play. Mackenzie Blackwood, I felt like a lot of the criticism on him was kind of unfair. He was not good in this game. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and tell you that Mackenzie Blackwood was anything remotely close to acceptable in this game. He was awful. He just came back from injury. It's his second game back. We've seen before, like he needs to be in a rhythm. He needs to be able to, just play his way out of a rut sometimes. Like I still have plenty of faith in it. But like I saw people bringing up like Forgiev's back. I'm like, guys.
That was pretty funny. I laughed at that.
I laughed at first, but then I saw it more than once. I'm like, okay.
I mean, here's the thing.
Down a notch.
Yeah, it's okay. Like we were talking about this off air. Like this was the first time in the season where you go, wow, they just had nothing going tonight.
Yeah.
And by this point last year, we had already had like 15 of these games. It was. I mean,
it's in the title of this episode that I just made. Today is the 1-year anniversary of the Mikko Rantanen trade. It's a day before, but the day you're listening to this. But when we're recording this, it's been a year since the Mikko trade, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. But do you remember January that year and where we were at this point saying that like this team's not good? Like they need something badly. They need something to change because they're playing terrible. Mm-hmm. And this felt like really the first game this year. There's been a stinker or two here and there. Like the Nashville score felt like a little disproportionate with what the game actually was. This was embarrassing. Like this was a 100% embarrassing loss. The Islanders game started really bad. I think they worked their way into it a little bit. This was like, this is a joke. Like you just totally folded in that third period and your goaltending's not bailing you out. Your special teams looks like shit. And no one really had that great of a game. No. It felt like Kale was a mess in this. He scores a beautiful goal. Defensively, he is a mess in this game. Like Parker Kelly scores his 10th goal of the season. He's going to lap his career high by the end of the year. I don't know what he's doing on the third goal of this game. Jack Ashan has a nice little play to help set up Parker Kelly and everything. I don't know what he's doing on a lot of these plays. And I'll cut him a little more slack because he's a call-up, and that we'll talk about the Sloviov trade later and everything. But, like, Sam Girard.
That was tough. A Mitch Kopp goal was tough. That was a tough one to give up. He was just terrible positioning on it. Terrible.
He's had a rough couple of games. Sam Malinsky is drowning, playing top pair minutes. God bless his heart. But that's a.
I wouldn't hate it. Like I wouldn't hate it until Taves is back. Just throw Girard up there with Makar.
Not the way he's playing.
Not the way he's but like just do something different. Like because Sam Malinsky, great player, great. He's not a top pair defenseman. He's just not. And again, that's not a bad thing. There's very few top pair defensemen in this league. He's not there yet, and I don't know if he'll ever be there. He's a great second, third pair defenseman. Great, but he is drowning going out there against the top pairs and top lines.
Yeah, and it's unfair to really ask that of him to go up against other teams' best players. But like Girard has not been good. Brent Burns was a mess.
This was his worst game. So bad last night against them.
Mess in this game, and it shows that they need Devontae's in the work. Like we're all focused on Landeskog being like the emotional leader of this team and all the off ice and on ice stuff. You can make the argument that they might miss Taves more. And maybe 100%. I think that's probably real. Like, yeah, he hasn't been incredible this season, but he holds up so much. That the second you take him out and you start trying to just be like, oh, we'll be okay for 2 weeks, they're drowning.
And the good news is Taves is close. He'll probably play on this road trip.
Yeah.
So,
if not Toronto, probably for the back-to-back.
Yeah. Like that is the best news. And Taves, I made a meme last night of the Wolverine looking at the picture, and it was just a picture of Gabe and Taves, and you're just like, come back. Like we need you boys so bad. And I agree. Like Landeskog is the most important player, not most important, the most, I don't know the best word to describe it, most valuable to the team chemistry. I don't know. Like he's
their leader. He's
the glue. He's the glue. That's the word I was looking for. He's the glue of this team. But Taves is the most important. He is. And it's been very noticeable in Kale's play. And Kale is the best defenseman on planet Earth, but he's trying to do too much right now. Yeah. He's just trying to do too much. And you need Taves just to go there and take a weight off of Cale Makar a little bit. Like, you just need someone who's going to be defensively responsible. And Makar and Malinsky's play style just isn't – it's too similar to work as a pair.
It's not like – Malinsky doesn't allow Cale Makar to activate. Mm-hmm. Like, Devontae lets Cale Makar activate and be – Cale Makar and take away some of like the unglamorous parts of being a defenseman sometimes on that top pair. Taves will eat all of those minutes. Sam Malinsky can't do that. No. Cale Makar has to be the purely responsible guy most of the time. And he is a fine defenseman, but when he has to do everything on the top pair, like that's when you see him struggle.
You're asking too much. Like you're asking too much of any player. I don't think any player would thrive in that situation. So it's just one of those ones where you need Taves back. Landeskog, you're not getting back until after the Olympics. So we've already accepted that. That's all fine and dandy. Just get Landy healthy for the playoffs. That's really all I care about. But also, like, in the midst of this struggle, and I just hate that it's there because you watch his game and he's so close. But Val Nichushkin has not been good this entire month.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't have a point since New Year's Eve. Like, he's so close. Like you watch him play and it's going. He's just not getting any puck luck. And we've talked about it ad nauseum with Val over the past 4 or 5 years we've been doing the show. He is so important to this team's success. And you need him to get going. I wouldn't hate, and I know his play hasn't really earned him the opportunity to do it, throw him up there with McKinnon and Necas for a little bit. Throw him up there. Like I know Victor has a goal in this game, but I would like to see Nichushkin or Leckie up there. I would.
Yeah, I mean, it's shocking to look at the time on ice in this game where they're down and they clearly need comeback. Nichushkin plays 16 and a half. Lehkonen plays barely above 15. Yeah. Where you have McKinnon playing 26, Necas 25, Brock Nelson at 22, Victor Olofsson at over 20 as well. Like, it's just – they're not getting enough out of those guys right now, and Bednar's not rewarding them with the ice time in return. Like Leckie has the goal against Washington as well, and he gets the goal against Anaheim, but his play hasn't been great lately. And especially in this game against Philly, he was not great again. And Nichushkin, like you said, not great in this game either. But it's almost unfair to pick on two guys in particular because no one was really as good in this game.
Like McKinnon had 2 points in this game. I thought he was pretty average.
McKinnon, that is a pretty average night.
Yeah. Like he wasn't really a game changer. Like it was just all a bad game. But I think you gotta get Val going. You have to. And I wouldn't hate it if he gets to play on that top line. I wouldn't hate it.
I think it's just a team wide thing right now where it's just a lot of guys are just not. They're just not playing great right now.
Well, like here's the thing too. Like it's the 50th game of the season today against Toronto. By the time you're listening to this, fuck around, man. Let's fuck around and have some see if you have some line combinations that work that you haven't tried yet. Fuck around a little bit. Yeah, like have some fun. Like just see if you get something until you get guys back. Because I doubt Ross Colton's going to play tomorrow. I'd be surprised if he plays against Toronto. Fuck around a little bit with the top six. Fuck around. Like. Have McKinnon play with Nichushkin and Lehkonen. Fuck around a little bit. Have some fun. Like, I don't know. Just do something. Mix it up a little bit because it's not stale, but like you need to get some guys going. You need to get some guys going.
Like there's just a lack of life on this team right now. And I don't know if you have to look any further than just, well, there's no Gabe.
Yeah.
And this has been, I think, the most frustrating part about this team for me over the last several years. It's like, I get how important Gabe is. You cannot put how important he is into words. But I don't understand. Do you forget when he's not there? Like, is he on the bench, like, scripting everything that happens on the ice?
Bednar, just have him be on the bench. Like,
have him around at this point, because he's so clearly needed by this team at several points that the second he comes back, you're going to see this team immediately get better.
Yeah.
They're immediately going to fix like all these, and they're going to start having the third period comebacks again, if they even need one to begin with, when they're up 5 goals on teams again. But it's so frustrating at some points where it's like, I get how important he is, but like, what happens where just now all of a sudden there's no more life on the team, and now we're turning over pucks and just being far more careless. We're not helping out our goalie. Like, you look at the shots on goal in this game, and you'll be like, oh my God, they only gave up 20 shots and Blackwood gave up 6. The expected goals in this game were 4.3 to 3.1 for the Flyers, getting outshot by 15, which shows, number one, the quality of shots that are being given up by the Avs and how they're not getting a ton of dangerous chances themselves, which they're usually at very least dominant in like expected goals numbers, especially at 5-on-5, which again is very jarring to see in this game that it was not that close. But Blackwood's not bailing you out on a lot of those. He's having himself a bad night, and we've seen him and Wedgwood like have a bad night before, but we've also seen the team pick them up in the past and get them 6 goals when needed sometimes. But like, it's just, when the power play is as bad as it is and your goalie's working himself out of a rut right now, it covers up none of the issues, and it puts a lot of the flaws on this team on full display.
It does. Like, I don't know. You need something to mix it up a little bit. And we've talked about it too. You just need to get those key guys going in Nichushkin, Lehkonen, just all of those guys need to get going. And I don't know. I mean, this game against Toronto, just fuck around a little bit. Have some fun.
Yeah, I like loosen up a little bit, I guess. Like, I don't know what to even say as advice for this game. Like, I just don't even understand where that Flyers game comes from. Because if you look at the Ducks game, they dominated most of that game. Mm-hmm. That was statistically the second best game a goalie has played this year against them. I think the other one was Ilya Sorokin, and Dostal stopped like 5 expected goals in this game, only gave up the 1 with 3 minutes left in the third period. He was brilliant. He is one of the best games the goalie's had this year, probably the best game of his entire career. And that's a game where you're just like, you just tip your cap. Like, okay, like, I don't know what else we could have done.
That's why hockey is the stupidest sport ever, because the Avs should have won that game 6-1. If they play that game 10 times,
4-1,
they win it 9 out of 10 times.
Yeah,
but
like,
that's
it's probably the most insignificant game of the season.
Yeah, like, that one was just frustrating in the fact that, like, damn, they had that one, and it's just, Dostal was awesome. He robbed Ross Colton like 4 or 5 times in that game. Ross Colton could have had a hat-trick in this game, man.
Poor Ross. I mean, he's on the slump, and now he's hurt.
Yeah,
like, it's just, the poor guy cannot.
Bardakov hits one so square off the post on just a wide open net, and that was just the game. That's just how it went. And to get that one to overtime, it felt pretty impressive, because I thought they were going to get shut out. I really did, because Dostal was just good.
I genuinely walked out of that game being like, you got a point out of Dostal tonight. Like, that, for the second best goaltending performance of the season. Could have been worse.
Yeah, could have been worse.
You only gave up the 1. You only gave up 16 shots in the entire game. Like, it's hard to be that upset about it. It felt like the first time this year is like they genuinely just got totally goalied.
Yeah, like, it's gonna happen, man.
And it happened 82 game season. Gonna happen at least once. Someone's gonna have the game of their life.
Yeah,
and it just always happens to be
like 5 to 10 times.
Yeah. Just always happens to be against Anaheim for some reason.
I don't know what it is, man. We talked about it when we were doing.
Yeah, you were right about this game, where there's just something in the water at least once a year when the Avs play the Ducks. Either John Gibson and now Lucas Dostal is going to have the best game of his life.
Yeah, I still remember that John Gibson game in the COVID shortened year where the Avs lost like 2-0, I think, and they outshot the Ducks like 42-12, and they lost that game.
Not that different from this game.
No,
41-16 in shots, and it is genuinely just one of the best performances you're going to see out of a goalie this year.
It's just you just shrug your shoulders at that point and just go, okay.
Yeah, and it was honestly so dominant for Dostal. And you looked, they showed the records for overtime and shootouts before overtime started. The Ducks were 5-0 in shootouts. I'm like, the Avs are going to win this one because hockey's stupid and it doesn't make sense. So I actually watched it because I was like, well, it would just be hilarious if this is the one that they win. And of course they didn't. I genuinely don't know why I bothered. But
like Scott Wedgwood is so good, but he is god awful at shootouts.
Him and Blackwood, they're terrible in shootouts.
So
but it doesn't help because they get no goal support in them either, so it doesn't matter.
It's just so funny. You watch him, and it's like Wedgwood's making these crazy saves in regulation, and he just goes in the shootout, and it's like, oh, this looks like a beer league goalie right now. He's just so bad.
And the overtime as well. I mean, they get the one past Dostal finally, and then you're like, okay, well now they know they can beat him, and he's still making these crazy saves in overtime. And I just have to talk about it for a second. My God, McKinnon with the turnovers in overtime with like 5 seconds left, just turns the puck right over for a golden scoring chance. And thankfully it didn't go in, but like how and why does this keep happening?
You look at it and like, why can Wedgwood make that save, but in the shootout he can't?
It's everything checks out. But like, I can't blame them because I do the same thing. Literally, like when the shootout comes on, my brain is off and I don't care anymore.
And he's like, he had two breakaways in overtime. He stops both, but he goes 1 for 3 in the shootout. It's just so funny.
Right.
You just have to laugh. You just have to.
It's so funny to think that they've actually won one against Vegas, and it turned out to be an important one because of the context of that game and the comeback. It felt good. But like the second the game goes to shit, like you don't have to watch them because you know nothing's going to happen.
It's just so funny, dude. But like, it's just, you just tip your cap. I mean, Anaheim's strategy was just like, okay, Dostal's going to save us. We are just going to chip the puck out every single time.
Yeah.
Every single time.
And if it wasn't for that and they do win that game, you're 4-2-1 on the homestand. Not that bad. It's better than 3-2-2. Really, at least it looks better on paper. You get goalied in that game, and in this game, you just lay an egg, and now all of a sudden your homestand record is just not good anymore, and disappointing. Like just disappointing to say the least. That the best home team has a mediocre homestand, and it just kind of sucks.
And it sucks, but here's the thing again. You look at it, and like you can be frustrated with the Avs. They're playing their worst hockey of the year, and our division lead has shrunk by a whopping 1 point.
Has it even been one?
Yeah, because they were on 11.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's by 1 at this point. But in the last 10 games, the Avs are 4-4-2. I've seen that in headlines every single day from everyone. The Minnesota Wild are currently 4-4-2, pending the result of this game against Florida, which is still 2-2 with under 10 minutes to go. But if they lose that one, it's going to be even worse. And the Stars are 4-5-1, so they've gained 1 point.
1 point.
In the Avs' worst stretch of the season, where it matters in the standings, they've lost no ground. None whatsoever.
So, again, you could have extended this, but you're not going to play perfect hockey all year. You're just not.
Not to mention they have 3 games in hand on both.
Yep.
2 games on Minnesota once this game wraps up, but point stands.
Like, it's frustrating. You can be upset. The system hasn't been great these past couple of games, but in the big picture, you're still okay. And they're going to work through it. They're going to. Like, I'm the only thing I'm worried about with this Avs team is the power play. That's it.
Yeah, like long term, I just don't have those other concerns. Like Blackwood's going to be fine, and they're going to get Landeskog and Taves back, and it's going to help cover up a lot more issues on this team and bring back their load-bearing defenseman and their captain. Like that's going to help them win a lot more games whenever they come back. The power play is an absolute disaster. It has been for the entire year. But like this is what we were saying during this whole first half of the season run that they were on, is like they're going to go through a rough patch at some point. And I guess, I don't know, maybe it's just something about this time of year, because once again, the Mikko Rantanen trade was a year ago today. And the Avs were very much in not a similar rut, worse rut, it felt like at that point, because they didn't have that lead to hold on to when they were struggling in January. And so now here we are, a year after the fact, after this trade. And feel like now this trade's kind of fallen into place for the most part. I think the trade tree is pretty done.
Yep.
Because, man, that was a day a year ago to have to.
Yeah, that day was like, it'll always be like, I was driving to my ex-girlfriend's house and you text me about the Taylor Hall trade and you're just like, oh, Taylor Hall got traded. And you're like, oh man, I thought the Avs could have gotten him. We've told this story.
Yeah.
Countless.
And I responded, there was a third team rumored to be involved. And I said, well, there's a third team. There's a non-0% chance that maybe the Avs can still do this. I am still baffled to this day how the Taylor Hall trade broke first.
Yeah.
How did that break first?
Yeah, and my favorite thing from that is technically Mikko Rantanen was traded to the Chicago Blackhawks.
Yeah, but also like, oh, there's a third team involved with this trade. It just so happened to be Mikko Rantanen going the other way, and no one was on that.
No,
the Taylor Hall they had down pat. Mikko Rantanen, that came 30 minutes later as the secret third team retaining salary.
Like, again, like that trade, it happened. It was the jolt the team needed. And again, if you look at that first trade where they trade him to Carolina, if that trade just ends there and Mikko has signed an 8-year deal in Carolina, I don't think there's any ill will towards this trade.
Yeah.
Because you got Martin Necas out of it. And point production wise, they have been very similar, Mikko and Martin Necas. I still think Mikko's the better overall player. Yeah. Not a dig against Martin Necas. Mikko Rantanen's a top 10 player in the league. But Marty has filled in that role pretty adequately. Like he's been the piece the Avs have needed. He ended up being not as much of a cheaper option as we thought for Mikko. But again, that trade, it sucked to lose Mikko. But it's also, I think the team needed it. I think they needed it.
It is a move that I think now that we're a year away, and you can look at it with the big picture. You can kind of look at it, and it's my opinion that I think everyone made out just fine.
Yes,
in this deal. Where again, if it ended with Carolina, I don't think there's any ill will towards this deal at all, because long term Necas is not going to be that much cheaper, only $500,000 cheaper. But that doesn't take into the context. Well, for this season, they're saving $6 million essentially, and the team that they've built here is very, very strong, and also. You weren't getting Mikko for 12 in Colorado. That's to say that he would have eventually signed that is disingenuous, because that is completely out of touch with the context of what led up to that. So you take a step back and you look at this trade as a whole now, where it was Rantanen for Drury, Necas, 2025 second round pick, and a 2026 fourth round pick. Then Mikko goes a month later to Dallas. And that was, I'm trying to get that trade.
2 first-round picks and Logan Stankoven.
Yes, Logan Stankoven, and 2 first-round picks and 2 third-round picks as well. And that's the damaging part of the trade, right? Like, we don't have to say that. We played Dallas in the first round last year, and now he signed in Dallas for 8 years. And that's the part that sucks, but the Avs had no control over that. Nope. They sent him literally as far away as possible. Where if they had kept him in Carolina, his return to Colorado would have been in October. And that would have been the first time that they played him since that trade. And the second time would have been a couple weeks ago. Instead, they've played him, 9 times since then in Dallas, where I feel like the Avs history, I think, will be kind enough to them with this trade, getting Marty Necas, him being such a great fit here, getting Jack Drury, which we've said they've needed a bottom 6 center for a long time going into that trade, and the 2 picks being able to lock up Marty Necas long term. I still feel like Carolina did all right in their trade as well to go and get the glut of picks that they did to go get Logan Stankoven. And for Dallas, this is not done yet, because yes, they got Rantanen. They have him locked in, and they got their Stanley Cup in the first round to be able to beat the Avs, because that's the only thing they really seem to care about these days. But they still have the Jason Robertson stuff going on. And pretty much sounds like his contract's probably going to come in at around or more than $12 million. And so this trade might ultimately cost them Jason Robertson by the time we get to the end of this season. He's still an RFA, and there's still time to work it out, but he's been fantastic this year for the Stars. Rantanen's been good too, but I don't know if he's hit like that point that I think some people were wanting out of him in Dallas to be maybe that superstar that carries them to the next level. Top line elite player, absolutely, but like he hasn't been in like best winger in the league conversations really, right?
And it's, again, like, we love Mikko. I still love Mikko. It's the worst to see him play for Dallas, and he hasn't reached that superstar level, but he's still, like, without a doubt, a top 5 winger in this league, top 10 player on some nights. Like, he's still a really, really good player.
He has 63 points right now in 49 games. I think the real thing is, like, you look at him, it's like 19 goals. You want more.
You want more, for sure.
You want him to be scoring at a McKinnon level right now.
Yeah, you want him scoring. And it's tough. Like, we talked about it with the Mikko stuff for what seemed like a year and a half. You're not going to win a trade where you trade Mikko Rantanen. You're just not. Like, you're not going to get a player back. Martin Necas is 80% of what Mikko Rantanen is.
Yeah.
80%.
He's a good enough fit on this team and going to be a good enough fit on this team for a long time that you're really not that worried about it, and you don't feel like it's a significant drop-off enough to be a difference, especially when McKinnon has taken over the goal-scoring role.
Yeah.
Because that was my concern with this trade, is now you don't have a trigger man, where Marty is more of a pass-first guy. McKinnon is a pass-first guy to Mikko Rantanen most of the time, especially when he had 55 goals. But now McKinnon's just taken that role for himself, and now he's well on pace to win the Rocket Richard this year.
Like, it's a tough trade, but I do think the Avs, they came out pretty good out of it, man. Because you look at it, you get Necas, you get Drury, but you also get Brock Nelson because of it. You get Brock Nelson. You had Charlie Coyle, who then turned into Gavin Brindley. Like, you lost Mikko, which was by far the best player in that deal, and he ends up on your rival. But you got 4 really good players in return for him, essentially.
But the thing is the only thing anyone's really going to remember is that, well, they lost.
Yeah.
And they played Mikko in the first round. He has the hat trick in Game 7. And it ignores everything else, where you look at that team before the Mikko Rantanen trade and the team they have now, this team is significantly better.
Yeah.
And that's not to say, well, addition by subtraction, they trade Mikko Rantanen. It's like, well, no, it gave them the flexibility in the room to actually build out the team that they want, because they had to make a choice. Mm-hmm. They had to decide whether or not they were going to have McKinnon making 12.5, Rantanen probably making 12.5 to 13. 12.5, I think, is the lowest it ever would have gotten.
And you brought this up so many times. It took 3 teams telling Mikko you're not getting $14 million for him to finally sign for 12.
Right. Where it came down to really like the last second to say, well, you're staying here. It's either basically you sign with Dallas right now because they were not going to trade for him without an extension, or you stay in Carolina and you either have to stay to get the 8th year, or you can hit free agency, but you can only get 7. And that's going to probably cost you a lot of money.
Yep.
So he had to make that call right then and there. Okay, maybe I give on the $1 million here to save me $12 million 7 years from now. Like that is basically what we were dealing with here. And the Avs, like, they had to decide whether or not they were going to pay 3 guys north of $12 million and have McKinnon make 12.5, Rantanen probably at 13, and Makar, for whenever he signs his extension, it's going to be rich.
Yep.
And we've seen that those top-heavy teams don't do very well, and the Avs were not doing very well even before those deals were kicking in. They were already in salary cap hell at that point. And you look at the moves they made sense to bring in Brock Nelson, to bring in Charlie Coyle at the trade deadline, and everything that they've done since has made this team far deeper and far better and far more equipped to win a Stanley Cup.
Yep. And it's just one of those ones. It will always be like a dark day in Avs history, but we're a year removed from it, and my mood has changed on it, where it was the right decision.
And it's like my mood has changed to the point where it's like I've moved on.
Yeah.
Like I do wish Mikko all the best. Like I don't take any of it personally. I don't
all the best unless he's playing the Avs.
Right. It's like I don't think it has.
I don't want him to win another Stanley Cup boys with Dallas. I'm sorry.
Yeah. That's how I feel. I don't like Dallas, so I don't really like Mikko right now all that much. But in terms of as a person, I loved him here. He was a fantastic player here, and I enjoyed his time here. But this was business at the end of the day, where he is well within his rights to try to get as much money as possible. The Avs are well within their rights to be like, I don't know. And it's also, we don't have to pretend that Mikko was not a little bit of a pain at times to deal with, especially with some of his games, game in and game out, where you knew he had the talent. Mm-hmm. I don't think you even need to look any further than his playoff run with Dallas, where you look at how he was in games 5 through 7 against the Avs. He's the best player in the world, let alone the best player in that series. No one was going to stop him. You look at the rest of his run. He had the hat trick in game 1 against Winnipeg. Against Edmonton, he was a no-show. He did nothing in that series.
And that's Mikko. That's the Mikko experience. And it's just crazy to think it's been a year. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It feels like that trade happened 5 years ago.
Yeah. it feels like it was a month ago and also 5 years ago.
Yeah.
It's such a definitive turning point in Avs history. And the history on it is still being written. The first couple months couldn't have gone worse. You trade a guy to Carolina, to the Eastern Conference, where the earliest you're worrying about him is the Stanley Cup final. And you're 2 games a year. Then they not only send him back out west, they send him to the Central. And not only do they send him to the Central, they send him to the team you've been pretty much destined to play pretty much the whole season, that you are going to probably go to Dallas and play them in a playoff series. And you take that guy off your team and put him on that team. There is not a single worst thing that could have, the worst part about this trade is nothing the Avs did. It is Mikko not willing to sign in Carolina and Dallas ponying up and doing it. And also for Mitch Marner for not waiving his no trade clause that would have had him sent to Toronto, or maybe they would have sent him to Toronto in the first place. And there's so many things in this deal that are just like, how did that even happen?
Could you imagine Mikko in the Toronto market? Oh God, he would have been crucified.
Oh my God, give it 3 years.
Yeah.
Because again, we love Mikko. I don't mean that as a criticism, but I think Toronto is the worst place for him. Because the things we were saying about him would be 50-minute radio hits every single day about this guy. You thought they thought William Nylander had it hard. Mikko because Mikko Rantanen's not afraid of the media. He will go at people. It would not have been a good fit for him, for anyone, really. But you send him to Carolina, and then he just ends up in Dallas for 8 years on a lesser contract. That is by far the most damaging part of this trade. And there's nothing the Avs could have done about that.
Shit happens, man. It's just, again, it's a year. I'm glad it's over. We'll see you in round 2.
Yeah. Because again, you look at that playoff series and them losing in the way that they did. They were laughing stock for a while. We had to take our lumps for probably a good 3 months. And for most of the offseason. And I do give a lot of credit to the Avs front office. They did not flinch.
Nope.
They were steadfast that they did the right thing. And just because the 1 in a billion fluke has happened, that he somehow ended up in Dallas and then has the best playoff game of his career in Game 7. You can look at that and say, well, that's just the puck don't lie. You did the wrong thing. But they continued to build the team that they thought was good enough to win, that I thought was good enough to win last year. I thought they built a great team, but it fell apart in 15 minutes in the third period. They were the better team in that series. You look at the first round again. I know that we shouldn't keep scratching at this scar, but they were the better team in that series, especially 5-on-5.
They were the better team in that Game 7 too.
And they were the better team. They had a 2-0 lead.
Yeah.
And it just fell apart. If they had just defended that lead, then we're not having this conversation.
Nope.
Because you look from an outside media perspective, that's the only thing people care about.
Yeah.
Is the Avs, they lost that series and Mikko Rantanen had the hat trick. And that, in their eyes, invalidates everything that happened. Every single thing that happened leading up to that moment no longer matters because it's a results-based business.
That game's going to haunt me for a long time, man.
Yeah. But also, let's move the clock forward to the end of this season. I think the Avs are good enough to win the Stanley Cup.
100%.
So I'm not going to say that I'm guaranteeing that they're going to win, but I'm just saying, work with me here. If the Avs do, we're going to look back at that trade with a much different set of eyes than we did a year ago. Because again, results-based business. If the Avs are able to build a team this year that is having the regular season that they're in a rut right now, but like if they go and win another Stanley Cup this year, then no one's ever bothering them about the Mikko Rantanen trade ever again. But there is the other possibility that they go play Dallas again and lose again. And if that happens,
God, I hope not.
If that happens, then that's going to paint everyone's picture of this trade for 20 years.
I can't do it again.
Yeah. Well, it's like it does make me laugh when I see people like, oh, well, here's Necas's point totals and goal totals to Rantanen's point totals and goal totals. Like, guys, none of that matters. The only thing people are going to remember is who wins in the playoffs.
You want to hear something crazy? I'm looking at this on FanDuel. The Avs are plus 220 to win the Stanley Cup right now.
I hate that.
That is so like for a champion. That is insane, dude.
For a champion, they've had better odds in singular games this season. I've seen games where they're like that. That's just so ridiculous. Why can't we go back to when people were ignoring us? Again?
Yeah, just forget about us. They don't even have the Avs listed as odds to make the playoffs. They don't even have them listed. The highest it goes is Vegas at minus 7,000. They don't even have the Avs, Stars, or Wild listed on here.
I mean, if you feel that strongly that the Avs are going to miss the playoffs, I am sure they were happy to take your money.
Yeah, that is so funny. Avs are minus 550 to make it to the conference finals. Excuse me, that's to the semifinals, the second round.
So to win a round.
And then minus 170 to make it to the conference finals.
That's still wild to think about. That you will not gain money basically by betting them to make the Western Conference final.
They're plus 125 to make it to the Stanley Cup final. That's the first time you get plus money on the Avs.
Jeez, man.
That is insane.
Like, why even bet that far out?
There's no point.
There's no point.
There's literally a bet on FanDuel for the Hart Trophy. Nathan McKinnon or the field. McKinnon's minus 405. The field is plus 280.
That's great. I don't even want to know what Kales would be for the Norris.
He's minus 340. Werenski's plus 340.
That's donation.
And then Cale Makar versus the field is another one. Rocket Richard, McKinnon's minus 300. Art Ross is only minus 125. Jack Adams, Bednar's plus 110. And that's all the awards they have listed. So that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
That is pretty funny. They also have the Avs at minus 20,000 to win the Central Division. Think about that. You'd have to bet $20,000 to win one. Yeah. That's hilarious. I love that.
I mean, if you saw $1 on the street, would you pick it up?
I would, but I don't have $20,000 to bet right now. So, shout out FanDuel for that good laugh. But to put a bow on it, the Mikko trade, it happened. I think the Avs are better for it, and if you can just beat Dallas in the playoffs this year, all will be forgiven. Yeah,
I feel like everyone got what they wanted out of this, because even though Mikko technically took less, Dallas is tax free.
Yep.
So he probably still is making more than he would have if he did sign 12.5, 13 million in Colorado. So he got what he wanted with the money. Dallas got the high end guy that they needed, and Carolina got more draft picks and Logan Stankoven out of it. And Martin Necas got what he wanted, and he's not in Carolina anymore.
Correct.
He very clearly did not want to be for a second longer.
Correct.
And the Avs are building a team now that is far more akin to what they had in 22, and a far more deep team that is capable of going deep.
Yep. Far more deep. So we can transition now. There was a trade the Avs made. They traded Ilya Solovyov to the Pittsburgh Penguins for, I forget the guy's name. He's an AHLer. And what'd you say?
Valtteri Puustinen.
That's a name. That is a name. Again, it's just good asset management. You got Solovyov for free on waivers. You get a 7th round pick and a player out of it. Nothing against Solovyov. There was no shot he was sniffing the lineup if everyone's healthy and they add another defenseman. Yeah, and you put him on waivers, he's going to get claimed, so might as well send him his way. And
Yeah, you get another asset out of it where you get a 2026 seventh round pick. It's something.
it's something.
It's an asset. It's something to work with. And Pustinen's a guy he's a former seventh round pick back in 2019, and he's played 66 games in his career with Pittsburgh, and he's been a perfectly reasonable AHL producer. So he's going to spend most of his time with the Eagles, maybe a call up option at some point down the line, but don't expect him to be an impact player on this team really at any point. Like, it's a small trade. Solovyov, it just felt like his time was kind of numbered here, where he had a couple okay games, but very clearly was just not the kind of depth that they're looking for, where it's very clear this is their target at the trade deadlines. They're going to try to get a center, as scarce as they are. They're going to get some defensemen here, especially now you're seeing, like, without Tays, this is a house of cards. They need some bodies.
They need some bodies, and they need some NHL bodies, and they're going to get it. I'm not super worried about that. The part that is worrying me, the reports that the Avs are the number one contender for Artemi Panarin. I don't see it, man. I don't see it.
I like that, because here's the thing. I don't think that's coming from the Avs.
No, it's not.
That is coming from agents. I don't think it's a shock that you've seen so many guys who are on the block be like, oh, well, the Avs are in on them. Mario Ferraro, Evander Kane.
That one's gross.
That one's fucking gross. And Artemi Panarin. You want to know why? Because these guys want to come here. Because the Avs are the number one contender for the Stanley Cup. The Avs have never had anything leak. Like, I cannot remember a time that anything has leaked, like, more significantly than, like, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, they rarely ever have that kind of business get out. So that hits me as agents are trying to politic their way to Colorado. But the connection I've seen is like, well, they tried to get him in 2019.
Yes.
Was the year that all that happened. That was a very long time ago. It was a very different team in a very different circumstance than what the Avs are in now. It's like,
well, here's the thing. If you're telling me I get 29-year-old Artemi Panarin, I'd do it.
Yeah.
It's just, the Avs don't need him. They don't need him.
I'm not opposed to getting a winger, but, like, Panarin with his money, and, like, there's just some baggage there that I don't really want to deal with right now. And his play has not been great. Like, that's a lot of assets you're giving up, where it's like, how does that trade even go down? Where first Guliev, probably.
But here's the thing too, like, he has a no movement clause, so he gets to pick where he wants to go.
Right. So that's where I'm seeing that, like, well, I'm sure he would like to come to Colorado, where I think that's where that's coming from.
Yes. But the Avs just don't need him. They don't need him. They just don't. If he was a big physical winger, maybe. He's not. He's a great offensive player. He's not particularly fast. You don't need him. You don't need him. It's just one of those ones where I can't get behind it, and I just hope the rumors, if he does end up on the Avs, that'll be awesome. We'll talk ourselves into it. But right now, there's just not a need, because, like you said, the assets it's going to take to get him basically prevents you from doing anything else.
Right. It's like, if they got him, we'd come on here excited. Like, okay, you got Panarin, that's exciting. But, like, it feels like just a big move when you really didn't need to make a big move. Or, like, I want to see the unexciting moves for bottom six center, for a sixth defenseman, a seventh defenseman, to just make this team a little structurally more sound. Or it's like, Panarin's big and it generates headlines. I don't know if it really helps them, though.
No.
I don't think that really solves some issues on this team.
Is he going to come on and make the power play like 10% better? If he does, maybe I'm interested.
Yeah.
Maybe. But I just don't see the need for him right now. You need to make the moves where you get Arturi Lehkonen and you get Josh Manson. You don't need the big fish. Because as we've learned over the trade deadlines, the team that gets the big fish rarely wins.
Yeah, it really is the team that gets, like, just the fits, that build their team out better. You don't win the Stanley Cup at the trade deadline.
Right.
Like, you need to have a strong team in place already. And if you're just going out and getting Artemi Panarin just to be like, we're pushing our chips all into the table, like, it just feels like performative at a certain point, where it's just, I don't know, the Avs feel smarter than that, where if they were to get, I keep bringing up Blake Coleman, who is also a winger, I would feel better about that.
Yes.
Because it fills a little bit more of a need for this team rather than just like the big fish in Artemi Panarin. I don't even want to entertain Evander Kane. I don't even want to have that conversation.
Here's the thing, man. I could see him doing it. I don't like it. He's not fit. He's he's a locker room nightmare.
That's exactly it. I don't think they like him.
I don't think they do. I don't think they do, but like there is a part of my brain where I'm like, that one seems more likely to happen than Panarin.
I guess, but
again, I still like. I want to make it very clear. I do not want Evander Kane.
He's been terrible.
He's been terrible.
He's been like really bad.
A locker room cancer. He's a locker room cancer,
and that's not a new thing. Like that's not something that's like, oh, you don't know what actually goes on. This has been like 10 years.
Yeah. The biggest miracle of the Oilers, and the thing I'll give him credit for, in the 4 years he was there, we didn't hear much about how bad he was. You know what I mean? Compared to where he was beforehand, we didn't hear much. So I just
depends on your definition, but yes, I see your point.
Yeah. So the Avs are going to be active. I don't see the need for Panarin. And I think you're right. That is getting put out there by agents and everyone saying that the Avs have reached out to see what the likelihood of Panarin is. I'm like, yeah, they've probably reached out on like every player who's potentially.
I love that. Like, oh, they reached out. What do you think GMs do all day? Yeah. Like, do you think they're not just checking?
Yeah,
I'm sure the Avalanche have talked to the Rangers about Artemi Panarin. Put it in the front news headlines. I can tweet that out right now and say, breaking, Avs have talked to Rangers about Artemi Panarin, and I would be 100% correct. Yeah. That doesn't mean anything's happening. This is their job. This is what they do. They have to know what the price is for Artemi Panarin, or if they've talked to Dallas about Artemi Panarin, and if there's anything they can do with that. Like, this is their job. This is what they do all day.
Panarin's not even the Ranger I want. If we're going to get a Ranger, get Trocheck.
Yeah, because at least he's a center.
And he's a third-line center. He fits in perfectly, wins face-offs. Like, the Avs may never lose another face-off if they got Trocheck.
Yeah.
They may never lose.
You can start with that.
Yeah. Like, that's the Ranger I want. That's the one. Maybe Shesterkin. Maybe Adam Fox. That'd be cool. Also, can we talk about the fact that Seth Jones isn't playing in the Olympics and they picked Jackson Lacombe over Adam Fox? Like, what did Adam Fox do to Team USA, man? What did he do?
Like, why is Adam Fox not in trade rumors right now? Yeah. If that's how his own management feels about him.
That's crazy, dude. Like, I love Jackson Lacombe. He's going to be a fixture on the USA national team. He's not better than Adam Fox. He's not.
You still can make the argument that, like, there's not one guy on Team USA that is, like, definitively better than, like, Quinn Hughes. But, like, that's it.
Yeah.
Like, definitively better than Adam Fox. Like, it is the most absurd thing I've ever seen.
It's insane, man. Like, I love Jackson Lacombe. He's going to be awesome for years to come. Adam Fox is way better, dude.
Yeah, what are we doing here?
What are we doing? But yeah, I mean, the trades, we'll see. What the Avs are going to be active. They're going to add pieces. But I'm just waiting for you to come on here in a couple weeks and just give me your player that is not a lot of people are talking about, but the Avs should go get. I'm waiting for that because you nailed it with Lehkonen. I forget who you said last year, but I'm waiting for you.
I don't think I got anyone last year.
I don't think you have one, but we need that. I need you to do your research. Come to me and be like, this is the player the Avs should get.
Like, I'm a scout. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, you're a scout because you nailed the Lehkonen part. So
yeah, that was like 4 years ago.
Yeah, it was. But the best part about that Solovyov trade, we didn't talk about that either. It freed up a bunch of salary cap space. The Avs now have like $3.5 million in salary cap space.
It was a even deal because we called up another guy, so it canceled out.
Still, $3.5 million in salary cap is nothing to sneeze at. That's a lot for a contender to have going into it. So
yeah, because Solovyov was in the NHL, Pusin was in the AHL, so that salary swapped there. But then the Avs made another call up with a Chan, and the salary just equaled out to zero.
Fair. But the salary cap space the Avs have is more than they've had in a very long time.
Yeah, and they can actually do something with it for once, which will be
they can do something with it. Let's quickly preview this Maple Leafs game. The plan for us for show recording, potentially going to go tomorrow after the Leafs game and after the Broncos game. And then I'm going to be on vacation for a week. We're still going to be recording the show, but it's going to be in I'm going to be in the middle of the ocean.
You're going to be on a boat.
I'm going to be on a boat, and it'll be pretty funny to do the podcast, but we are still going to be recording. But let's do this Leafs game real quick. Here's the thing. I kind of hate how confident I am going into this one. I think with how bad they played against Philly, they're going to come out and just – I don't think they're going to blow out the Leafs. I think it's going to be a very competitive, fun game, but I don't want to be on the other side of a pissed-off Avalanche team.
Yeah.
I think Mackenzie Blackwood bounces back, has a big game. I think he allows 2, but I think the Avs win 4-2.
Yeah, I was thinking in like a 3-2. Man, I think it's in regulation. I think Blackwood has himself a great night. I don't think the power play is any better because that thing's just fundamentally bad. But I think they get some big nights from their stars. Like they're getting good depth production. Play like Parker Kelly's scoring. We'll see if Olofsson can score on the road at this point. 10 goals all at home. But they're getting some from their bottom 6. I'd love to see Val get back on the board as well. And yeah, I think the Avs do win this game. I don't think they blow them out by any means, but because you also have to think like there is the possibility like, well, the Leafs also just got embarrassed by Vegas with the Mitch Marner return. Can I also just say, I am so glad that game is done. I have been so annoyed over the last 7 months of hearing about Mitch Marner. Stop airing out your breakup. No one cares. It's been front page news since June.
There were so many mean reports about him too, where it was like he would get mad at people commenting on his play on Twitter, and it's like, yeah, he's a fucking human being.
Yeah, don't show up to his house.
Yeah, I just a lot of mean reports about Mitch Marner, and he very clearly won that breakup, very clearly.
Yeah, like, and again, can we let it go now?
No.
Like, can we stop reporting this as front page news that Mitch Marner has less points than he did with Toronto? Toronto's a better built team without Mitch Marner, even though there's like no evidence in the standings to suggest that is at all the case. But like, I don't care. It's been 5 straight years of Mitch Marner is the worst, and he's the only reason the Leafs don't win anything. And they're treating each other like jaded lovers in this entire year that you finally get the big return game and the Leafs laid an egg and they lost to Vegas anyway. So what was all of this for?
Nothing.
Like, I don't want to hear from you again when it comes to this stuff. Like, it's so annoying.
It is.
You're not getting a rematch because you're not going to the Stanley Cup final. You're lucky to make the playoffs at this point, but it's still just going to be for the rest of the years. They're just going to be hate watching Vegas, which based, but like for the wrong reasons.
For the wrong reasons. So it's going to be fun tomorrow. I'm excited for it. It's going to be a great day in Denver sports. You got the Avs game, and then the Broncos playing the AFC Championship game against the New England Patriots. Hasn't been a bigger game in football for the Broncos since the Super Bowl 50. I can't wait for it. It's so exciting to love sports. And I'm going to say something, and I don't want Avs fans to come after me. If the Avs lose 7-0 tomorrow, but the Broncos win, I'm taking that trade. Mm-hmm. And I think most Avs fans who are Broncos fans would agree with me. I will sacrifice the Avs losing badly if it guarantees the Broncos win.
Yeah, a regular season game for a trip to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I will sacrifice that. I think the Nuggets play tomorrow too, so you get all.
You get all of them.
You get all.
I mean,
talk about an injured team too. The Nuggets. Oh my God, could you imagine if the Avs were
something in the water?
Something in the water in Ball Arena, man. But it's gonna be a hell of a day. I can't wait for it. Yeah. I cannot wait.
Do the Broncos win? We locking that in?
I want to. Here's the thing. I think they have a better chance to beat the Patriots. I don't think there's a shot in hell they beat the Seahawks or the Rams.
Yeah, but we're not Super Bowl yet.
We're not Super Bowl
yet. Are we
yet.
going to make it there?
I'm going to say yes. I think they win 24-21. I think Will Lutz kicks another game-winning field goal, and Jarrett Stidham's going to lead the Broncos to the Super Bowl, and that will be my Super Bowl.
Because like I would be less confident, but the bar is like Jarrett Stidham can't play worse than CJ Stroud.
Yes. He could, but it's going to be very.
But it's very tough to throw 4 interceptions in the first half and completely screw your team out of any chance of winning whatsoever. So as long as Jarrett Stidham's just okay, It's not like any other year where it's like it's Patrick Mahomes
Yeah.
or the Bills or the Ravens or any of these teams waiting for you in the AFC Championship. It's the Patriots who've had the easiest schedule and path here probably ever. So it's possible. It's not totally screwed.
No.
We'll see what happens in the Super Bowl, but we're not talking about the Super Bowl.
Talking the Super Bowl. Just beat the Patriots. Patriots are 0-4 all time in playoff games in Denver. So hoping that trend continues, and just pray to the gods that Jared Stidham is the best. And I'm calling it. When is the Bo Nix video? Like, when is he going to show up on the Jumbotron? You work in this field. Is it start of the fourth quarter? Like, when are they going to have Bo Nix on camera pumping the crowd up? Is it start of the fourth?
I don't know, because this is an interesting circumstance with the surgery and everything. Like, I don't even know if he can. Like, he just had the surgery a couple days ago. He might not even be there.
He'll be there.
He'll be there. I'm thinking probably there's two options. It's either before kickoff or start of the fourth quarter.
I think start of the fourth quarter if I had to put money on it. Like Bo Nix just in his box, just going.
But really, I'd say both. They're going to show Bo Nix at the first possible opportunity, and they're going to show him throughout the game.
Yes. And I will lose it when I see him too. So that's going to be a hell of a. I can't wait. We're less than like 13 hours till the game, and the only downside of this game, we got to listen to Tony Romo for another 3 hours.
Well, at least it's not with the friggin' Bills game this time where you can talk about Josh Allen the whole time.
They'll talk about the Patriots. We'll get there. We'll get there. But do we have any mailbags in the show?
We do not, actually.
Really?
So we are free and clear.
I thought R would definitely have one for us.
I think this one finally took him out.
Yeah, took him out. So, we'll be back hopefully after the Leafs game, and then I'll be on a boat for the next time you see us after that.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll make that my backdrop, just the ocean as we're passing through.
Mm-hmm.
That could be fun. I don't know.
Just lean over the balcony.
Yeah. No, I'm good. I'm just gonna enjoy my time. I get to leave the cold of Denver for the warmth of Cabo. So I'll be living the dream.
Sounds like a blast. But I think we are ready to wrap this one up here. Thank you all so very much for tuning in. As always, if you want to follow us on Twitter, you can follow me at GR Youngs. You can follow Christian at Christian_Belay, and you can follow the show at HockeyMTN Pod. But again, thank you all so very much for tuning in, and we will catch you all next time. But until then,